We are a delegation of 6 members of the European Parliament focusing on foreign policy, security and defense from different nationalities and different political groups. The purpose of our visit is to send a strong message of support to Moldova at the moment where the situation in the region is of course tense. And at a moment where Moldova has been granted a candidate status for accession to the European Union, we consider it as a privilege that Moldova wants to join the European Union. And so we met with national authorities, we met with the Prime Minister, the Minister for Internal Affairs, the Foreign Minister, the Defense Minister, and the Speaker of the Parliament and members of the Parliament. And we went to a checkpoint between Transnistria and the rest of Moldova, because we met with officials from UBAM and from the new EU partnership mission who just arrived to support Moldova. We also discussed the prospect of the European Political Community Summit meeting on June 1st here in Chisinau. It is a very important moment. It is a very strong signal that all of Europe cares about Moldova, is supportive of Moldova, and I think it's a reason for pride for all the Moldovans. We know that Moldova has chosen a democratic and European path, and we feel that we are in the same family, that we face the same challenges, and that our solidarity has to be extremely strong, especially because Moldova has been living through the consequences of the Russian war of aggression in Ukraine, welcoming many refugees, facing rising energy prices, facing inflation, and the efforts made by the European Union to support Moldova are substantive and will continue in the future. This was what I wanted to say as introductory remarks.
Thank you very much, Loiseau. Acum puteți adresa întrebări. Vă rog să vă prezentați și să ne spuneți și ce instituție prezentați. Vă rog. Puteți să spuneți în română și o să fie traduse întrebările noastre.
Da, vă rog să adresați întrebările, o să le traduc în limba engleză, nu vă sfiți. Radu?
O să vorbesc în română, Radu, cu Moldova 1. Dacă puteți să ne spuneți, vine summitul Comunității Politice Europene și vrem să știm dacă acest summit ar putea fi privit ca o garanție de securitate pentru Republica Moldova, nu doar în aceste 2 zile când vin șefii de stat și de guvern,
Could this summit be seen as a security guarantee for Moldova, not only for this period when the leaders of the states and governments are coming, but also for the next period as well? Public broadcast.
Well, the European political community is a very appropriate way to gather the European family, whether you are a member of the European Union, a candidate for accession, a former member like the UK, or even not intending to become a member, because we face the same challenges together. In terms of security guarantees, a number of efforts are being done by the European Union right now. First, we engaged in providing military equipment to Moldova through the European Peace Facility. It started last year and it's ongoing, answering the requests of Moldova. Second, the civilian mission, European Union Partnership Mission, is designed to support Moldova in its effort to fight hybrid threats, because this is obviously another kind of war, which is fought essentially from Russia towards a number of European countries, and Moldova is obviously in the front line of this hybrid warfare. So EUPM is designed to support Moldova, enhance cybersecurity, fight against information manipulation, and you are all professional journalists, so I guess you care about fighting manipulation of information and all sorts of interferences which obviously have taken place and are taking place in Moldova right now. Let me only mention fake bomb alerts, which have happened so often in Moldova in order to put pressure on public opinion. These things are not acceptable. Moldova is a sovereign country choosing its own path and should not suffer from these interferences.
De obicei, toate proiectele care se votează în Parlamentul European sunt aprobate cu majoritate largă. Există un consens pe Republica Moldova în grupurile politice din țările membre.
The decisions that are taken by the European Parliament are usually adopted with a vast majority. Is there a consensus regarding Moldova among the political factions?
That's good, because as I'm a French speaker, I can understand Moldovan more or less. But yes, you're right. As regards Moldova, every single report or vote is always getting a very large majority. Last week, we voted in favor of additional financial assistance to Moldova, and it was widely adopted by most of the political groups. I have to say that we have some MEPs, some members of the European Parliament, who are obviously pro-Russian. They are well identified, but they are a very tiny minority. And we also work on fighting foreign malicious interferences in our own parliament. So on this as well, we are in the same boat with Moldova.
Cum credeți dumneavoastră cât va continua acest sprijin internațional pentru Ucraina?
What is your opinion? How long will the support for Ukraine go on?
Well, it's one of the many miscalculations of President Putin. He thought that the European Union would be divided, and we are united. He thought that public opinion would be tired of supporting Ukraine because of the number of refugees, because energy prices, because inflation, and he was wrong. Approximately average throughout the European Union, support for standing with Ukraine is around 70% in public opinion, which is really strong, despite Russian efforts to spread disinformation or to have what I could call useful idiots in the political spectrum in the European Union. It's one more failure or miscalculation of Russia, because people see the atrocities committed by Russian military in Ukraine, if they had illusions before or lack of interest, they have lost their illusions. They understand that Ukrainian victory is necessary not only for Ukraine, not only for the region, but for the whole European continent.
Bună ziua, Carina Melor de Moldova. Întrebarea noastră sună în felul următor. Republica Moldova este în continuare afectată de războiul hibrid, iar riscul de securitate regională este unul în continuare iminent. Care sunt, în acest sens, noile măsuri ale Uniunii Europene care tind să susțină Republica Moldova? Pentru că de la începutul invaziei rusești în Ucraina suntem și noi afectați. Și bine că sunt noi măsuri de a reglementa acest cadru, însă rămânem într-o paranteză destul de tensionată în acest sens. Și care sunt noile măsuri ale Uniunii Europene?
Taking into account the hybrid threats and the war ongoing in Ukraine, you will understand almost everything.
Not all.
So, what are the new measures that the EU adopts in supporting Moldova to counter these threats?
Well, as I said, on the military side, the European Peace Facility provides equipment to the Moldovan military, and our conversation with the Minister of Defense showed that there was very positive reaction from Moldova. And on hybrid threats, it's more the role of the EU partnership mission, which is a brand new mission, a brand new mandate, really tailor-made for the kind of hybrid threats that Moldova is facing. And then you have bilateral partnerships between a number of member states and Moldova. Romania is, of course, very present and very active. It's not the only one. I come from France, and I know how strong the relation is and the trust is between President Sandu and President Macron. They meet quite often, they talk quite often, and the French president pays a lot of attention to what's taking place in Moldova. I do think it's exactly the same when it comes to Germany and a number of other member states. So everybody is committed to protect Moldova, and we also know that no provocation is coming from Moldova. No, it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for Russia to pretend that Moldova is having any sort of provocative behavior, because Moldova is a peaceful country, it's even a neutral country. So, and it has managed, since the beginning of the Russian war of aggression, for 14 months, to keep peace, calm, and even considering the situation of Transnistria, it didn't turn into something more bitter, for instance.
Thank you. Și o întrebare, știu că a vorbit colegul anterior despre 1 iunie summitul ăsta care urmează, însă acest summit, în opinia și experților, analiștilor economici, politici, susțin că acest summit va consolida țările, cooperarea între Republica Moldova și țările europene. Asta ne așteptăm și...
Experts say that the EPC summit would consolidate the cooperation between the countries in Europe and Moldova.
Este un conferință pentru că asta le sunt și așteptările. Însă dacă, spre exemplu, putem să vorbim despre niște sectoare importante în care ar urma să se consolideze anumite legături, aceste punți pe care le dorește executivul de la Chișinău să fie în legătură cu țările europene, vorbim, nu știu, despre diferite structuri, infrastructuri, despre, fie vorbim de plan politic, economic, social, orice.
Are there specific fields in which these cooperations could consolidate more, be it social, economic, security, whatever?
Well, there are many things already ongoing in terms of support for Moldova, for infrastructure, for education, and the European Union is already committed towards Moldova. But as a member of the European Parliament, I think that there are some progress that could be easily made, and I think I speak in the name of the whole delegation if I say that roaming, for instance, would be an important positive step. And the discussions will go on what more can be done to attract investment to Moldova. But it also takes all the efforts made by the Moldovan government to answer the 9 recommendations from the Commission, because it goes in the right direction. Reform of the judiciary, we know it's not easy, because it's uneasy everywhere, but it's necessary. Fighting against corruption, we know as well it's not easy, but there is strong commitment. De-oligarchization is also necessary, not to please the EU, but for the benefit of ordinary Moldovans, I think.
Pentru că tot vorbim de 1 iunie, pentru că vorbim despre această cooperare strânsă, despre începerea negocierilor de aderare la Uniunea Europeană, totuși avem acest conflict transnistrian și...
So, still on the topic of 1st of June, but also on Moldova joining the EU negotiations, we still have the Transnistrian conflict.
Ați spus la începutul acestei conferințe că ați fost în discuții cu anumiți oficiali de stat din Republica Moldova. Care este în continuare poziția și nu vrem să obosim care este poziția, dar totuși să avem niște soluții mai clare în ceea ce privește, că nu putem să vorbim despre aderarea la Uniunea Europeană fără a rezolva diplomatic cuprinzător și pe un format.
And in your opening remarks, you've been saying about some meetings with Moldovan officials on Transnistrian topic. So how can Moldova join the EU? Because it's clear that it could not do it without a solution for the Transnistrian conflict.
Well, I think that Moldovan authorities are the first to be committed to the reintegration of Transnistria under the authority of Moldovan authorities. And I think that for Transnistrian, there is a very concrete reality already, and that is that experts originating from Transnistria go massively to the European Union. The future of the whole country of Moldova, including Transnistria, is with the European Union. It means peace, it means prosperity, it means social progress. So I do hope that the population in Transnistria gets it, and not only by leaving the region, as many of them did already, but also as realizing that a European future for Moldova is also beneficial to them. But we also pay attention, and we would not be fooled by any sort of provocation going against Moldovan authorities, either from Transnistria or from abroad. We would know that there are provocations. We would know that there are interferences. And if some are tempted to try to disrupt the process in Moldova, my advice would be don't even try.
Madame Loiseau, when we speak about Transnistria, we have this common agenda at the EU level, a special status for Transnistria, but at the same time, what should we do with the so-called elites of this grey region in terms of integrating this the population in this?
Well, this is really not up to foreigners to give recipes to Moldovans. It has to come from Moldova itself. I think that there is no doubt that if you consider your neighbor Romania, where it was before joining the European Union, how it is today. There is such a difference that every single Moldovan, wherever he or she comes from, whether an ordinary Moldovan or elite, can realize that the benefit of being a member of the European Union. And for us, we would benefit having Moldova in the European Union. I'm really firmly, strongly convinced about it. Because you have an experience, because you have a history, and Europe, a bigger Europe is a stronger Europe.
Dacă mai sunt întrebări, vă rog să...
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.